In 2009, director James Cameron took us into the great world of Pandora, which was so colorful, lush, and with all sorts of great characters in the film Avatar. A few years back, we finally got a sequel in Avatar The Way of Water. And just now, we got a brand new one in Avatar Fire and Ash, now playing in theaters. But is this new installment of the Avatar series worthy enough to spark a little light and life in your theater? Or is this one really deserving the cold shoulder it's been getting by some critics on Rotten Tomatoes? Well, I'm gonna prove that they're just full of hot air, as you'll find out in this spoiler-free review right now. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. I'm the Big D, and this time around, I bring to you a spoiler free review of the 2025 epic sci fi flick Avatar Fire and Ash, released by 20th Century Studios, directed by James Cameron, who co wrote the screenplay with Rick Jaffa and Amanda Silver. From a story the trio wrote with Josh Friedman and Shane Salerno. Produced by Cameron's Lightstorm Entertainment, this is the follow up to Avatar The Way of Water, which was released 3 years back, and the third installment of the franchise. Returning with us are Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, Sigourney Weaver, Stephen Lang, and Kate Winslet, reprising their roles from previous films. Now, anyway, it's mostly gotten decent response, but unfortunately, some's been mixed and stuff. Everybody really liked the visuals, the characters, the performances, and action sequences. But unfortunately, they were divided on the plot, screenplay, and of course, its over 3 hour runtime, just like the previous one. Now, before I go into a little bit of the story, if you have not seen my reviews of the other two films, of course, I did a spoiler free review of the second one. Click it on that card, and it'll take you to my new Avatar playlist in case you might have missed it, and a full review of the original, or if you would like to see them again if you'd like. Okay, shortly after selling in with the Mc, McCain, McCain, McCain clan, Jake Sully and his family grapple with grief over Netiyam's death. Neytiri, in particular, has developed a hatred towards humans. The children help recover weapons from the sunken human ship. Upon the arrival of flying merchant ships, Jake and Neytiri force Spider to leave the Metcaina clan. The ship convoy is ambushed by an aggressive Navi tribe, the Manquan, led by Tashik Varang. They set fire to the ships, looting them and killing the survivors. Jake, Neytiri, and the children are separated, but not before Loak kills several Manquan with an assault rifle. Miles Quaritch and Lyle Wainfleet find Jake and reluctantly work together to find the children. As Spire lacks a backup oxygen mask, he collapses from asphyxiation while trying to escape. Kiri connects her tail to the ground and goes into a trance. After his body is enveloped with mycelia, Spire gains the ability to breathe on Pandora without a mask. Eventually, they are trapped by the ash fires. Quaritch and Jake arrive, and the former teaches Varang how to use guns. Using her power to connect with Awa, Kiri commands the wildlife to kill the fires and they escape. But soon are rescued by, well, they're picked up by a rescue group and Neytiri, while Quaritch and Wainfleet escape. Anyway, that's all the story I'm going to give to you. If you want to know the rest, please go see the movie and check it out. Now, my thoughts on Avatar Fire and Ash. Well, I am going to say it could just use a tiny bit of trim in the runtime, so that's only my a slight negative, so that really doesn't deduct any points, though. So you'll be happy to know. Now, then, I am going to say that I don't care how this story comes out. Sure, it feels like it's the same thing what we saw in the other two films, but it doesn't really mean it's that, well, deserving the divided critical response. I mean, come on, you people. May I remind you that you just more recently did that to Wicked for Good? I'll get to that in a moment, okay? Let's not get too far ahead yet. But anyway, I am going to say that I think it was a bloomin' thrill ride. An awesome, epic, bloomin' thrill ride. Well, I kind of got in reverse. A bloomin' awesome, epic thrill ride. There, I got it. Oops, I hate when that happens. Get certain words mixed up in the wrong spots. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, yes, it was just so colorful with its atmosphere, just so lush and all that jazz. I thought it was beautiful. The characters are good just like before, the old and the new ones. Really good. Now, of course, once again, they have a score by Simon Franklin, who does an exceptionally good job. It also has some pretty good stuff you'll hear and what have you. And of course, which includes a new original song by a certain Miley Cyrus called Dream as One, which I must admit, that was a very good song. For once in some time, Miley Cyrus gives us a pretty decent song. But don't hate me since I haven't heard any more recent stuff from her. But anyway, now, of course, there was a second original song called "The Future and the Past," sung in the fictional Navi language by star Zoe Saldana, which ends the Avatar: Fire and Ash soundtrack, which recently came out a few weeks back. Please stand by. Also, one thing else about this, the film is dedicated to editor John Raffoa, who died a couple years back on May 14th, 2023. Of course, this guy worked on, well, TV shows like Touched by an Angel, Twin Peaks, and Law and Order. He was nominated at the Academy Awards for the original Avatar for Best Film Editing. Plus, he had worked on others films and including the Magnificent Seven remake and Equalizer as well. So rest in peace. And also, we do give one before the credits starts rolling, as we got a memory of John Landau, who sadly passed away last July, on July 5th, 2024. Who was certainly no stranger to working with Mr. Cameron. He had also worked on the other Avatar films, as well as Cameron's former big hit, Titanic. Of course, he also worked on others, including Solaris and Aaliyah Battle Angel, even Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and Dick Tracy. May he rest in peace, John Landau. I know he did a pretty good job on the production of this, along with Mr. Cameron. Anyway, when estimated budget of over 400 million, this is now one of the most expensive films ever made. Now, so far, it's already made 137 million worldwide, but unfortunately, it's been doing some of its. Some people are saying its opening's gonna be just a little bit cold than the previous film, but however, it will be just possibly be a tad bit higher than the first one. Which that brings me to something else I'm going to have to say. I'm really not thrilled, as if you saw my out of theater reaction, I'm not very thrilled with Rotten Tomatoes score of 67 to 68%. Come on, what's up with that? Believe me, again, may I remind y'all just as low as you gave Wicked for Good last month, and I was also not too thrilled with that. You ought to be ashamed of yourselves. I had thought this would get good response, just like the last one. So no certified fresh for this one. How disappointing! Very disappointing. Pitiful. According to these blokes, they say remaining on the cutting edge of visual effects, Fire and Ash repeats the narrative beats of its predecessors to frustrating effect, but its grand spectacle continues to stoke one of a kind thrills. Well, that may be, but it still proved to be good. So take that, you Ryan Tomatoes critics and what have you. Now, although its audience score is pretty decent enough, please stand by again. Okay, I just checked. It's back up a percent. It's now back at 68. It's no longer 67. However, the audience's popcorn meter is certified high at 91. So choke on that, you critics. Again, you ought to be ashamed of yourselves for giving this a cold shoulder, just like you more recently did with Wicked for Good, like that. You know, again, not thrilled with that. Come on, throw me a bone here. Now, however, I did check the scores that Audiences Poll by Cinema Score gave. It gave it a good, decent A, which that's good. I'm I'm very happy for them for giving them that score and what have you. So that's just the same score they gave the last film, which I feel like was good. But I am just going to say that, yes, well, actually, A is the same score the first film got as well. So, again, it got the same score from Cinema Score, just like the other two films did. So, that's good and what have you. But again, I'm not impressed with or thrilled or what have you with the Rotten Tomatoes scores those critics gave. I'm really tore up by this. In other words, I'm really PO'd and what have you by this. Also, Metacritic has a score of 61, which is decent. Initial reactions were mostly positive, with critics calling the film an ultimate cinematic spectacle, though there were some criticism toward the storytelling. Yeah, screw that. They just ain't right in the head here, people. You know what I'm saying? The visuals of this was so exciting. The characters are absolutely good. Their performances, action sequences, but the plot and screenplay, I'm the same blanket. What those people say, I'm. I think it's good as is. It's just a runtime could just use a tiny bit of trimming, but it's okay. I managed to get through the last one just like I did with Avengers Endgame. And there are many other films that were, excuse me, about 3 hours long. I managed to get through. So anyway, yeah. And again, the soundtrack's really good. Now, as for the cast, we have Sam Worthington back as Jake Sully. He's good. We also have Zoe Saldana as Netiri. I'm gonna say she's good as well. Sigourney Weaver returns as Kiri and also as Dr. Grace Augustine, who appears as a spirit, but, well, I won't give too much details on that, though. Stephen Lang played Colonel Miles Quaritch. Again, I'm gonna say he's good. And Kate Winslet returns as Ronald. Well, I think is good too, but something does happen to her. But I'm not going to give the details on that. That'll ruin this review permanently. Now, for others, we have Oona Chaplin as Varang. Now, I've got to say, this is a pretty good character and why I mean, dark and fiery, and yeah, a great villainess. We have Cliff Curtis as Tonawari, and Joel David Moore as Dr. Norm Spellman, CCH Pounder as Moat. We have Edie Falco, of The Sopranos and Nurse Jackie fame, as General Francis Ardmore. I was very surprised to see her in that. And Giovanni Ribisi as Parker Selfridge, the disgraced former head administrator for the RDA mine operation, the first film. David Doulis, who I've seen some of the Harry Potter films, as Palak, the Na'vi leader of the Wind Traders, who will be featured in later films, which I'll get to those in a moment as well. But it's got a great cast and why the rest of the characters and cast are really good. Now, of course, they're saying this might do okay and it may not. But even if it doesn't open as strong as the last one did, but it's been doing better overseas. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. I wish this film the best of luck. It's gonna need it big time. I think it can do it without much trouble. Now then, now of course, James Cameron said that he would not start filming the remainder of Avatar 4 until the film was released. Just more recently, last month, he reiterated that the next two films would not happen if Fire and Ash is unsuccessful, and he will be, well, I would say he would be forced, but I'm going to say, but that they will write a book instead to resolve the one open thread the third installment leaves open, which I'm not giving details on that either. So we're just thinking, don't want that to happen, A lot of Avatar fans will be really disappointed if we are left hanging on by a thread. But anyway, Avatar Fire and Ash. I think critics are just misunderstanding this. This has gotten a little bit of a misunderstanding. But who cares? I love this movie. I love this just as much as the other two films. So this film is awesome. You must go see it. For my score, I'm going to give Avatar Fire and Ash 5 stars, which will mean on a scale of 1 to 10, it gets a 10. Enough said. And that also makes it the 10th and final film of the 10 films I want to see in the second half of 2025 that I wanted to see. So thus, another victory is complete. For me, that is. So, and we'll see what comes up for the first half of 2026. But details to follow when that comes up. So anyway, what did you think of Avatar Fire and Ash? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, consider clicking the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel, and you know the rest. You can also click the bell icon for more notifications. And I'm happy to report that I'm now 3 subscribers away from 1,100 subscribers. Keep it up. So I think I'll be at 1,100 before this year's over with. We'll see what happens. So if you like this, consider checking out my reviews for some of these other films. I'll give the star of these other epic films with a little sci-fi feel to them. In the upper left-hand corner, you can check out my review of, well, these are 2 films under the studio's former name of 20th Century Fox. You can check out my review of The Maze Runner in the upper left-hand corner from 2014, or you can go to the upper right-hand corner and see my review of Maze Runner: The Scorched Trials from 2015. Or if you'd like something else from James Cameron, check out my review of his epic from 1997, his epic of a romantic film that is Titanic. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.